has not worked in our region, and I'm worried about what happens if we go to an even game state, or even worse, if Gen G are behind. T1 just have so many win cons in this draft.
Yep, they certainly do, and it just feels like it's a little bit easier to navigate with a draft like what T1 have put together. If you go back and look at what Gen G had last time around, it was pile-in lockdown. It was Camille, Galio, and a hyper carry. We've seen these compositions so many times. That's what T1 kind of has this time around. Plus, they have that coveted Jarvan that is so incredibly good at winning. And on the other side is the Kiana that hasn't won yet here in the LCK. Let's get onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 2. And all we want is for every single game to be like game 1. That would be great. I'd like alternating winners each time until game 5, in which case anyone can win. It's fine. We just need 5.
Well, Atlas,
that would be the best.
I think if you're the Kiana team, you're hoping it's not like game 1, because if you're falling behind with this draft, it's not as easy to get back into the thick of things. And my personal take, we've talked about this a little bit on the space as to why Kiana is not doing as well in the LCK, is because the LCK is such a calculated region where team fights are often decided before they break out based on numbers, based on who's got vision control, based on who's set up to engage and who's not. So it's hard to just scrap with Kiana. We saw... Oh no. A trap.
Yeah, Duro is in a lot of trouble. The headbutt pushes him back as he gets the stun onto Gumayushi, but even though he's not going to die or use flash, it is kind of massive because these minions are already here, and the Leona already doesn't have very much health bar.
Another one
walks out.
I'm not going to actually look for anything with this. And the Kiana, I think that we saw like one good Kiana ultimate this whole playoffs.
I think Raptor had some good games, or a good game. He didn't win, but it looked like he went 3-0 at the beginning. Very Raptor-esque, of course. As Ruler is...
The game I'm thinking of is the game where Owner played Kiana and to Honor Life Esports in the Smolder game, and they won that first team fight on Grubs, and he had phenomenal ult. He split the team in half. And those are the kind of scrappy fights you don't get too often in the LCK, so it's hard to generate a lead. It is going to be Electrocute here for Canyon, not First Strike. We've seen both different runes here to try to generate gold with the First Strike, but the burst damage that Electrocute gives you, I think, is just far superior, and I think we've seen a big pivot across the LCK towards that. His owner is
the level 3
Jarvan.
That's a bit scary. How about Paul does bring Carrier in there as we started off the fight. Gen G get the information, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough as the flash out from Duro. The flash forward. The sidestep is not good enough, and that is first blood. The Jarvan just gets it done every game.
That's crazy. What Jarvan can accomplish at level 3, one of the strongest junglers at this, and
the wave state is doomed right now.
It's actually unplayable, and Ruler... He's not going to have, like, even if Canyon tries to come down here and support, it'll mess up his farm, by the way, which needs so desperately, and I don't know if he's really going to be able to fix this, so, yeah, this is also the losses that we have. 4 games at Kiana, she's 0-4. That Owner game, he had that fantastic ult early, but they got outscaled by the Smolder. I think that was the best. Jarvan, by the way, he's kind of winning.
Yeah, he's doing the other thing.
Remember that Raptor game? Remember that Cuz game? Remember that Owner game? Yeah, there's a lot of really good games with Jarvan in playoffs.
Yeah, he did get a pentakill. And a guy that's playing it right now that got said pentakill. I was really expecting the Jarvan to be the highest priority ban for Gen G. Obviously now, they're not going to have to worry about it for the rest of the series. They already have a 1-game buffer in this one. There are reasons to let it go through and let things happen, but I'm still a little bit concerned. Every loss is dangerous, and T1, when they get momentum, are such a scary team. It is a big risk to be taking. Let's just see, as this is Gen G, right? They are pretty good at knowing how to win. They've been doing a lot of it this year.
They certainly have. Canyon going to go over here with the ward he has and actually start to steal some of these camps away. This is a great way to play the Kiana. Is just hard farm, don't interact with lanes.
Oh, God.
Not again.
Bottom lane getting absolutely punished. The teleport in from Faker towards his bottom side as Gumayushi does have to flash, as Deadly Flourish will be avoided. The force shot not going to be enough, and he just reloads at him and dies.
And that's another huge win here for T1, set up by Cario once again on the bottom side with this Alistair pick. He picked it up early, it was blind, and it has gotten insane value here in this game already. And you know what, cross map wise, like got some Raptors for Canyon on the Kiana, but otherwise not able to impact the play here. Obviously the top side, Aatrox favored as well. And like Duro's just trying to hold this wave, and Carrier says no. At least I'll take 1 minion away.
He is at least able to hold the majority, so that is something. And Faker did give up a fair bit. You can see it's 44 to 26 in the mid lane. That's why we don't see a complete ballooning of the gold. But I mean, if at first you succeed, try again, I think is the saying. That's how it works, right? As Gen G do have vision, so they know that Owner's here. They know that he's being rude and just camping their lane over and over again. But there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Doran turns up towards his bottom side, and they don't quite manage to get the crash.
Not quite. There's going to be a big discrepancy in farm if this continues, obviously, where the Kiana will start to really pull ahead in terms of that farm. But with the impacts we've seen already from this Jarvan, might not matter. It's just another great play from Carrier. As you mentioned, kind of out of bullets.
Yeah.
Not hit the target he was looking for there. And that's a kill over to Guma. As Chovy's going to drop a bear.
Yep, bear does fall down onto Faker here. Drop bears are real. We have confirmation. And Carrier comes over, Cal versus Bear, that it looks like Tippers is going to be taken care of here. Good range knowledge by Chovy.
You have the advantage in the bottom 2v2. You have the Aatrox winning the lane into the Scion and the pressure there. Almost a stopped back there onto Ruler as well. And the early tempo lead that T1 holds right now is pretty massive.
Oh, Dura making his way over here as Carrier and Faker are just losing this 3v2 in the mid lane, including Tibbers, of course.
You know, Guma doesn't need Carrier to be topside if he's just going to push a free wave in. It took Ruler so long to get out of that bottom lane. He's going to miss a few minions here on the top side, and the lead for Guma continues to be there. And so, yes, that was a really strong tempo from Chovy, but Carrier just kind of bails Faker out, and it doesn't necessarily really amount to all too much.
Yep, you can see that the 500 gold lead, though, that Chovy does have is mitigating a lot of the advantage that T1 put together. It was about 800 before, now it's only 300 as far as the advantage is concerned. One away from Feats of Warfare, though, as we are still yet to see this Hextech Dragon go down. Second game in a row with a Hextech as Dragon number 1. I do think that we should get Infernal Mountain Cloud at least once today, because it is the 21st of September and it's very important to me that we do honor that. But that's okay. Maybe we can just groove tonight. It's fine. As Keen and Doran doing battle against one another, Keen kind of just getting thrown around like a ragdoll and does have the Bramble Vest, so feels pretty good about that.
Yeah, he does. At the end of the day, Doran's still going to put some pressure on him here, and is actually looking to heal up a little bit and continue to do so. No jungler to impact this bottom lane. As we trade again, Doran.
It does feel like Doran has to work so much harder to do stuff.
It really does, and I think that's 100% accurate. But he's trying to get cookies out.
He is still doing stuff.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. As the Roar of the Slayer does come on down, Canyon moving in as the flash comes out. The flash to fall over Canyon misses the stun, and Doran's able to get out. Man, his early navigation of ganks has been so good this series.
Canyon with a bit of a whiff there, commits his flash as well. And, you know, it's just a free escape there from Doran. It still will lead, though, to Canyon being able to pick up this first dragon here on the bottom side of the map. See, Owner is rotating around here, grabbed first grub, and is now actually looking to try to take Ruler out of the picture here. Has Cataclysm.
Yep, Carrier is going to ult early, picks up the aggro, and the barrier not quite going to be enough there, as there are Feats of Warfare picked up, as Faker in a little bit of trouble here, trying to rotate up to help out, as Molten Shield from Chovy comes in. Oh, the final order is not enough to lock down the kill. He was almost a cool guy not looking at an explosion, but instead, there was no explosion.
Yeah, calculated, I suppose you could say, from Faker there, gets away, but it's still a successful play there on the top side. Great aggro setup. The kill goes over to Owner ultimately in the end. That last tick of damage from Guma does not actually get the kill, but I think Owner kind of likes taking the kills in this situation. I don't think they feel too bad about it. We've seen what this guy could do with Jarvan. Ruler tries to get back away from the turret here. The aggro is already picked up, though, by Carrier. He's taken out by Owner with the Cataclysm. He's just a sitting duck in this scenario. See, the ulting Scion comes over to try to patch the hole. Baker does get caught, though, on rotation.
Yeah,
Realm Warp denied.
Tried to get in there, was unable to do so. It did cost Chovy his flash to make it happen, as phase rush is broken.
Yeah, it's crazy. He still gets out. Like, when I watch this replay, I'm like, are we sure he gets out? Does just barely get away.
Didn't quite have the electrocute back, I guess. So it just wasn't quite enough damage there from Chovy. Little unfortunate. Not end of the world or anything like that here for Gen G thus far, but
Umbral Glaive start here for Canyon, by the way. That is not normal.
that is not what we have been seeing.
Axiom Arc and Profane Hydra has been the build with the reduced cost on both items. You kind of save 600 gold from what you used to, and
Umbral Glaive is just such an incredible utility item.
it really is. And if you're trying to control the map and constantly control tempo, first of all, it's not going so well so far, but like at least I could maybe help you get back in it. It's a relatively cheap item as well, the Umbral Glaive, and pretty stat efficient for its cost. But yeah, we just keep dropping bears.
Yep. And Roland tried to go for the invisible Deadly Flourish. Doesn't quite work out there. As Doran, this time with no flash, and he is just dead. That was a supreme display of nothing that he could have done about it.
Yep. And that's a good Kiana ult. Okay.
Yeah, nailing the first one. There we go.
1 for 1 so far, and that's putting her a little bit further accelerated in this game.
As there's the Cataclysm onto Chovy. Remember, he used that flash earlier on. He's trying to get Tibbers to get some value here, but it's just not going to work out. That's a very strong Jarvan to take down the Annie. Canyon a little bit slow. Picking this one up. They'll take themselves the plate, and Canyon will be able to clear out these minions. But it's still looking good for T1.
A third kill, gets Tibbers, gets a plate. So yes, Canyon had the successful play there on the top side, but this was a big win for the side of T1. Faker gets the assist, gets a little bit of plate gold as well. That gold deficit shrunk massively after Chovy is shoved out of this lane. And, you know, another successful move here by Owner. Sees the opportunity with Canyon there deep on the top side to find an angle. Knows the flash is down. Looks like a back was stopped here, I believe.
Yeah, another back interrupted. Nicely done. So we're going to check this one out one more time.
And look at where Owner is right now, by the way. He's just a little bit too far away to actually save Doran. And he just runs straight to the mid lane as fast as he can. And Chovy underestimates his engage range here. Look at how far back Chovy was. Still not far back enough. And he was trying to let the wave push into him, but ends up dying because it's a cannon wave to grab the plate as well on top of it.
And it just shows picking the Annie into the Jarvan is a risk, because he can just press R on you.
Again.
As, yeah, another bear comes down and another knock-up comes on through here from Owner as Chovy. Just free food for Faker. That's 5-1 in advantage here for T1.
And your big
0-1 for Owner.
Your big gold lead is just completely gone now. And now it's a lead for Faker in the mid lane. And this Jarvan, once again, I mean, you said it. We thought we'd see this one banned pretty much every game. Incredible that in this best of 5, Owner's able to get his hands on it, and he is just making such a huge impact once again. This immobile, flashless Annie in the mid lane.
And it's not like they have, like, the Yunara from last game to bail them out, right? It's a Jhin. It's a utility pick in the bottom lane for Ruler.
Exactly.
He is not going to be that secondary carry. So much was on Chovy's shoulders already, and Annie was already a little bit more of a utility pickup, right? Like,
Yeah,
this game is now resting on Canyon's shoulders to get this work done.
And I just don't think he can in this game anymore. And, like, it's a lead for Keen on Sion. No, that's something.
There you go.
Right? But where's the damage going to be? That's the big question, as Faker's going to get stronger and stronger as this game goes on. And, like,
I've seen this one before, as Chovy didn't have flash, but he's able to walk his way out of it this time around. They're now looking for Duro, who does have a blast cone to help him out.
I don't know if Faker will really miss that realm more before this upcoming fight, because they have full prio, but a bit of a whiff.
Now the bear comes down here as the Rune Prison comes on in. Owner moving back though, so Canyon is going to back away. Some spell flux connects, but otherwise not too much more. The flash 4, and it's going to be the bear coming down. Faker will be punished as Carrier comes on through. Owner just gets out of there though, protecting that shutdown gold. And Carrier is going to have to flash, but I just don't know whether that's going to be enough as he's running, and that is going to be able to get him to safety. Kuma was just left alone though, with this bottom out of turrets.
He is going to get some plate gold here, and with this wave thinning out, I think this is going to be a trade up in terms of the turrets here for the side of T1. Canyon, of course, starts this dragon up. Owner does have flash and could look for a steal potential here. Duro's holding the gate though, not allowing him to get in. Guma comes over, really greedy here.
Yeah, that is going to be the dragon coming on through. No Zaz Blade to land here from Duro, who is a bit far up, but it isn't going to be too much of an issue. But every time Gen G are going for something, there's someone on T1 breaking their stuff.
Exactly. So Owner doesn't go for the steal there, is unsuccessful at stopping the Dragon. They walked up with the Misfortune. I was a little bit worried, so we're not done yet.
Yeah.
We should be done, though, I think.
I think we are.
Yeah.
And we're going to be able to take down the Grump.
But yeah, like the bottom turret goes over. Feats of Strength get picked up here by T1, and then Doran smacks the turret and takes 2/3 of its health bar away with the grubs that he has in the ensuing play. Initially here, Faker is totally fine, right? Does have his flash available. The combo comes out from Chovy, he just walks away. But then here, walking back up with Owner, bit of a bridge too far, I think, on this one, as Duro is also here, and it's a big stun from Chovy. A bit greedy here on the side of T1's mid laner.
Yeah.
I've just walked towards the Dragon to look for a setup play instead. Punished by Chovy. But then, you know, the Misfortune in the bottom lane picks up a ton of gold. Aatrox gets some serious work done on the top side, and T1 are set up for this Herald now.
And this is going to be a difficult one for Gen G to contest. Deadly Flourish onto Carrier, but he's not too worried about that. Has the Unbreakable Will, is now Canyon looking for an angle. He's getting in amongst it. The curtains have been called as he flashes out of the way of the Cataclysm. Jiro going down very low. Gumayushi doing so much work. T1's health bars are getting lower. Keen right in amongst it, but Chovy not quite doing enough. Ruler just getting soloed out by Doran, and he will be able to finish that one off. Chovy in the back of the pit is just dead to the bullets of Guma, and T1 are just running the rift outside of Keen, being quite frustrating, but he'll be zombified and taken out himself. A monstrous win here for T1.
Yeah, very haphazard setup from Gen G as well. When we watch the replay, I want everyone to watch Canyon's ultimate as he goes in onto Faker. Like, this Kiana pick is 2-0 on 2 items and is just not able to get anything done in this team fight. Guma's untouched, massive value with his ultimate, and just his straight up auto attacks do a ton of work here. He's 3,000 gold ahead now of Ruler. Watch this angle onto Faker Kiana finds. He's like, carry in the back line, I've got him. Faker's just like, I'm not really that interested, actually.
Yeah.
That's the best you got?
And if you don't hit terrain, it just doesn't feel like it does very much of anything at all.
Ruler doesn't have access to follow up, so now the fight is just completely split. Doran isolates and kills the AD carry by himself, while the other side of the fight is a complete wash. And this is why, to me, the LCK setups are just too strong for the Kiana pick to work. Why we're seeing it, in my mind, continue to fail. As you don't have a great target there, you don't have otherwise great CC or lockdown. The Jarvan setup, he's got tons of mobility, great CC. Now as Sunder Sky's had it for a long time, and Owner is super fed in this game, and they're gonna get this mid turret. T1's 3rd turret of the game.
Man, look at all those Banelings. That's it's a lot of devastation here being provided by T1. 5,000 gold is the lead as Carrier is going to interrupt a Q. That was pretty cute. Gets a headbutt onto Keen here at the same time. He does ult to get himself out of the way. Carrier taking a fair bit of damage, but it's another charge from Shelly.
Yeah, maybe if he hit the turret, it could have been a little bit more high value. As Kiana, 1v1?
Yep, I'm not against Doran. That is not going to work as he does break the chains this time around. But yeah, Doran is so scary on this Aatrox right now. Level 12 and 2-1-0. He's got a little bit of a gold advantage against the Scion now as well, as Duro is dead. Faker Realm warps in, but it is just going to be the kill going over to Ona. And I mean, this is much worse than the gold lead that T1 had in the first game.
Yeah, in the first game, it surfed around like 1,500 for a while, got up to like 2,400. And it was a lot of win cons for Gen G that were kind of sitting in the incubator, right? Like that Ruler late game, Yunara was brewing. The side laning, Camille was there. In this draft, you got a 2-0 Kiana that looks invisible, and you have a Jhin that's 0-3 and 3,000 gold behind, but I don't know if the Scion or the Annie is really going to patch those holes. And it's a lead in gold, but it's also a massive tempo lead, and there's just so many more win cons in this draft for T1 than they had last time. They've got the Realm Warp, they've got the side lane angle, they've got triple grubs they've been utilizing incredibly well in this game, really from their AD carry as well as their solo laners this game. And Gen G are just so far behind the 8 ball. Like, Duro keeps getting caught just trying to get any semblance of vision as Faker may be caught.
Well, the flash is going to come on through. Double teleports invested as Owner is going to find Canyon here. There's the headbutt over the wall. Ruler in so much trouble. Deadly Flourish goes wide, and he is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. It looked like it was going to be a play from Gen G, but T1 just turn it on its head.
Another ult from Canyon that just completely does nothing in the attempt to try to peel for his teammates there, but Carry is flanked. Chef's Kiss on this Alistair, 8 out of 11 KP this game. He has run it from start to finish. The rip belongs to him and all of these Fed T1 members as Faker takes a gold lead over Chovy with the destruction of that turret, and now it is all T1 colored around the map. No semblance of control for the map here outside of a small side laning Annie here for Chovy. As it looks like initially like, oh, Faker's caught, but this is the traditional Faker overextending question mark. Now we win the fight, we baited you
Triple
in.
TP, everyone teleporting into the fight, and Carrier just takes the AD carry and roll up. I mean, I don't think he's started playing the game, but he's definitely not going to play the game in this one.
And has Canyon played the game in this
Well,
one?
he's farmed. He has almost the most farm on his team, only losing out to Chovy, and he did have a slight lead in that department a little bit earlier on. It's kind of ridiculous. So if the game is Farming Simulator, yes, he's been playing the game.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's League of Legends, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's my bad.
Power Wash Simulator has been, it's been the talk of the casting team recently. Some particular casters really enjoy that one.
I mean, that's the Achilles game.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna name any names, but
have we just outed him as the Power Wash Simulator guy?
nothing wrong with enjoying Simulator.
I think I've never thought of him as being feeling ashamed about it.
I mean, like Canyon, I've considered Farming Simulator actually like about twice a year. I do consider to pick up Farming Simulator 2025. Like, it looks really fun. I don't know if I really have time for that, but it looks really fun.
Yeah, there's something satisfying.
I don't know if it'll make a positive impact on my life in any way. I like to play more narrative-based games. I'm playing through Metal Gear Solid right now, but
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the newer one?
no, the old one, the PS1. You know me.
That's far.
When I play new games,
That's far more. I know that there was a new one though that came out.
Which is why I'm playing the first one, because I want to do 1, 2, and then Snake Eater. But Turret Eater is T1 down in the bottom lane as they give Otacon up. They're going to get the Constellation turret here. They're scaling.
Yeah.
Just don't know if they should be. And they're so far behind.
Oh, Deadly Flourish comes on in. It is going to be Otacon picked up by T1 very, very soon. But Gen G are at least getting something for it.
Yeah, I mean, if they get double turret, that's a lot of gold actually over to Gen G.
They will be losing this inner turret towards the top side of the map, so I don't see it necessarily being a phenomenal outcome.
It's not.
Grim
It's
usually
not.
does take this.
It's not losing the game outright by trying to fight on Otacon, so keeps them in this game, so to speak. They're still 5,000 gold behind, and it's not a trade up, but I mean, they got Chovy some money.
Yep.
That's a good thing for, maybe some miraculous comeback where we see a big ult from the Kiana here from Canyon, or Chovy's able to just output so much damage in the team fight where maybe Guma is caught or Faker is caught. You gotta hope for that if you're Gen G in this game, is maybe a big overextension. We saw that error from Faker decided the game in game 1. I think it's gonna take a few more of those errors to get the lead that Gen G pulled back in that comeback in game 1 this time, but maybe they'll make a mistake, and that's what you kind of have to hope for here as Gen G.
And Canyon is very strong, just with the amount of farm that he has picked up. The fact that he is only 300 behind Ona, who is 405 right now, is kind of mind-blowing.
It's hard to kill targets, though, when you have this Bloodthirster MF. Faker obviously going for the Seraphs in this game, and will probably build Zonia's third.
Yeah, he needs the follow-up, absolutely. As all of Gen G are grouped up, let's see whether they can actually find a target. His owner off to the side has been spotted. Keen tanking for a long time, though, and he's not going to be starting any fights at all. Cataclysm comes down. Owner just flashes out of the way of it. It's a lot of burst damage here from the Annie, but not full commitment. And Doran turns up and says, "No, you are not allowed to fight." And they agreed.
This time, Doran learned from not TPing until it was too late last time. And say, "I probably just be there just in case." And if they walk away, I'll just go side lane in the top lane. And look at the map. Like, if you toggled the vision for Gen G, they can see like nothing outside of the base except Canyon dying. That's what they can see.
Canyon is the bullet. Oh, that was pretty cute. Getting to zoom in there as well, as Canyon is very close to dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an understandable Yuumi.
Perfect KDA in this game, though.
Yeah,
Hasn't died yet.
he hasn't. You don't actually die very much in Farming Simulator, as it turns out. Not a very violent game.
Yeah, it's
not a violent one.
No real game over screens.
Not so much. Does have his Edge of 9 now, so 3 items complete here for the Kiana.
And the MF, top damage in the game, that's not a good sign for the team that's playing into the MF.
Yeah, I would say that we put that in the Gen G cons column. Absolutely. Also, him having all the money, also a bad thing, I would say, for them. Definitely a good bounce back here from Gumayushi, who had a bit of a rough one in game one.
You know, Owner's 600 gold ahead because, yeah, Canyon's been farming the jungle. He's been farming the champions.
Yeah.
And now there is no jungle for Canyon. He can't get out of his base.
Sometimes violence is a little bit more lucrative. That's what I'm learning here today. As Duro's going to face check, he has to be the one to do so, and unfortunately he's dead. Very dead. If there were certain degrees of dead, he would be one of the high degrees of dead from that one. As it turns out, I'm pretty sure it's just, it's just dead.
So maybe this will be the last Kiana game of LCK playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for, Atlas.
No, I just don't think it is. If it's still being played now, I think it's just going to keep getting played. It just must be really fun. It must be doing a lot of good things in scrims. That's what I'm expecting. But also, it's doing a lot of winning in the LPL, right? Like, we know that it can win.
In other regions where they play very differently, I think it's very strong. And I also think that with how LPL teams play, if they clash with LCK teams, they'll have a better understanding of how to utilize the pick. Unfortunately, LCK just has not figured it out yet, and
it does kind of go back to the stakes of this series as well. If the playstyles are so different between regions, it's very dangerous for either T1 or Gen G to be playing in that play-in best of 5, because you could just travel to China and then be there for like a few games and then go home. Like, and for Gen G or T1 to be one of those teams, that just sounds ludicrous.
One of those Chinese junglers might teach you how to play Kiana on your way out as well.
You could just ask Kanavi, perhaps, something like that. Yeah, that guy's pretty good at playing carries.
And I mean, you could just see, unfortunately for Gen G, like, they're just catching waves and hoping for T1 to make an error, and T1 is just not going to give them the pleasure. Carrier will avoid this Q. See who else can avoid.
Deadly Flourish actually doing a fair bit of work here, but Carrier not even pressing the ult button, just looking to try and set up for a bit of a catch on the Keen, perhaps. He's put into the Cataclysm, flashes out immediately, breaks the chains. They're now going to need to go back, and doesn't have his flash now for the upcoming fight. Baron going to be on the minds of T1. They're doing their very best to lock down vision control. There is a cute little ward here in this brush, giving Gen G a little bit of information as in goes Owner. Deadly Flourish just to spot what's happening in that brush there, but it looks like Gen G are not going to be face checking just yet.
Okay, this is...
Oh dear, never mind, maybe they will go in. There's the Zenith Blade from Duro. He didn't really want to be there, and Owner is going to be able to take him down. The supreme display of talent is decent, but not quite good enough, as down goes Tibbers as well. Trophy doing battle against Faker here, who flashes to pick up the kill on his opponent mid laner. And now Keen finds his way into the fight, and he's going to take the death exit this time around after being a zombie for just a little while, and the curtains are not being called for Ruler. I think they will actually be called for Ruler, as now Owner is going to be making his way over and looking to try and take him down. The Realm Warp comes in. The Flag and Drag doesn't do too much of anything as the Aatrox delivery comes on through. And Gumayushi's like, guys, why don't we just win the game?
They're helping to keep the players from going back so they can win the game. That's what's happening. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a little bit of something like that. As they're doing their very best to kite Doran around here, who doesn't actually get the heal from the redemption, as Canyon looking to block off the next two that are making their way over. Deadly Flourish is decent here, as this is some yakety sacks coming on through here, as Canyon trying to get himself out. They have regrouped though, and in comes the cow! Carrier going to be able to deliver a double kill over to Gumayushi, and that was a weird little passage of play, but ultimately it's going to be even more winning for T1, as it's given players like Duro the opportunity to respawn before they win this game.
It almost feels like a psychological warfare move here from T1 as they just smash them over and over again before the Nexus falls.
Yeah.
And Atlas, we knew we would, but we have a series on our hands now.
It was already all over our hands after game number 1. It is now being confirmed as T1 will make this one a best of 3. Game 2, Owner on Jarvan. We saw it last time out. Gen G, I reckon, will be sweating after that performance. A real bounce back here from T1.
Yeah, Owner on Jarvan.